Xiaomi has officially launched two smartphones as of its return in the Philippine market. One is the Redmi 5 Plus, which we already reviewed, while the other is the affordable Redmi 5A. The company is branding the device as the entry-level smartphone king. What's up guys, Kim here of YugaTech, and today we're putting Xiaomi's claims about the Redmi 5A to the test. One of the first things you'll notice about the Redmi 5A is its size. It actually belongs to once famous and now rare breed of tiny form factor devices. This is due to its 5-inch 16:9 aspect ratio display and body, which is the common setup of smartphones years ago. That tiny form factor though has its advantages, like it's easier to hold and comes with a decent 294 ppi pixel density despite its HD resolution. In the hands, the Redmi 5A doesn't feel that premium due to its plastic build, but it's solid with a decent heft at 137 grams. The rounded corners and rear that tapers at the edges make it easy to grip despite the 8.35mm thick body. Overall, it's a simple device to look at. Noticeably absent though is any form of fingerprint security. The Redmi 5A is equipped with a 5-inch HD IPS display. Despite the low resolution, the device is able to maintain a respectable 294 pixel density, all thanks to that small 5-inch screen. The display itself has crisp and sharp details and color reproduction. Accuracy and viewing angles are also above average. It's actually a very nice display to look at, despite the HD resolution. Xiaomi did well in equipping the device with a small screen. As for audio quality, we have a pretty average loudspeaker. It can get loud without losing much clarity, and the mids and highs are there, and sounds good, but like any other smartphone, especially at this price point, lows are non-existent. It's enough to fill a small room with music, but we advise that you hook up your favorite audio gear or speaker to enjoy a more immersive audio experience. The device is equipped with a single 13-megapixel rear and a single 5-megapixel front, as standard for entry-level devices nowadays. For features, the rear has audio, beauty, tilt shift, timer, straighten, scene, panorama, manual, HHD, HDR, and a set of filters. The front, on the other hand, only has audio, timer, beauty, and a set of filters. Moving on to quality, while the rear cameras can produce good images, especially in well-lit conditions, most of the time you'll be left with shots that look dull and lacks detail. Color reproduction accuracy and sharpness are also not that great. Low-light shots are even worse as noise and grain are present and quality suffers a lot. The LED flash doesn't help too, as it overexposes the subject. Macro shots though are a bit better and have great sharpness and detail. The device's rear camera certainly won't impress, but in the right conditions, it can still be useful for quick shots and social media uploads. Just don't expect anyone to be wowed by your photos. The front camera, on the other hand, are a bit better. Selfies in brightly lit areas have good detail, color reproduction, accuracy, and sharpness. Although there are noticeable grain and noises, even in well-lit conditions. Like the rear camera, low-light performance of the front is just bad. Beautification is simple. You choose between the Smart and Pro modes. Pro mode lets you adjust skin tone and thickness, while Smart mode lets you choose between low, medium, and high beautification. The front camera also has an auto age and gender detect feature, which is inaccurate at times, but still fun to have. As for video recording, it maxes out at 1080p at 30 FPS in MP4 format. Quality subpar and audio sounds busted, but autofocus is good and stable. Still, we won't recommend you using this for capturing memories and important events. Handling the software department for Redmi 5A is Xiaomi's very own MIUI on top of Android 7.1 Nougat. As always, we are treated with a whole home screen affair where apps are placed on home screens instead of an app drawer. Users familiar with Xiaomi's UI will feel right at home. The software also takes advantage of the new features that come with a MIUI 9. As for pre-installed apps, we have quite a few. Thankfully, they can easily be uninstalled. These apps are a bunch of Microsoft Office apps, Skype, WPS Office, and a few of Xiaomi's homebrew. Paired with the usual suite of Google apps, you'll be left with 10.51GB out of the initial 16GB. It's possible to expand this via microSD, and thankfully, you won't sacrifice a second SIM slot. Feature-wise, we have plenty to choose from, like the various tools at the user's disposal such as QR scanner, screen recorder, compass, and downloader. We also have gestures, shortcuts, and additional settings which include second space, double tap to wake, one-hand mode, controls for Mi headphones and earphones, and quick ball. Powering the device is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 425 quad-core chipset, Adreno 308 GPU, and 2GB of RAM. Performance is smooth for an entry-level device as mundane tasks like browsing, home navigation, and social media consumption are a breeze. The 2GB RAM might prove to be insufficient at times, but light to moderate multitasking is still possible. Based on the benchmarks, the performance of the phone is decent for its class. It's also more than capable of running light to moderate games. Overall, you get a pretty decent tiny powerhouse. As for gaming, as mentioned earlier, the Redmi 5A can handle light to moderate games pretty well. Games such as Candy Crush and Zombie Tsunami run smoothly, while moderate games like Rules of Survival, Mobile Legends, and Vainglory suffer from frame drops but are still relatively playable. Heavier games like Tekken, Iron Blade Monster Hunt RPG, and Asphalt 8 Airborne will put the device to its knees. The phone heats up during prolonged gaming sessions, but not to dangerous levels or even to the point of making your hands wet. The Redmi 5A is equipped with your basic connectivity features such as Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GPS, and even an IR blaster. Call quality is crisp and clear, and signal reception is not a problem, as long as you are in a serviceable area. GPS is accurate and works fine in apps like Waze, Google Maps, Grab, and Uber. The Redmi 5A is equipped with a standard 3000 mAh battery. It's nothing too impressive, but is enough to last you a day or a day and a half on light to moderate usage. PC Mark battery test ranks the device at 11 hours and 17 minutes, while in our video loop test, which involves playing a 1080p video in loop in airplane mode with 50% brightness and volume with earphones plugged in, it lasted a good 14 hours and 12 minutes. Charging, on the other hand, is surprisingly slow, as it took us almost 3 hours for the phone to go from 0 to 100%. Once again, Xiaomi proved that they have what it takes to produce a performer even at the entry-level category. So, is the Redmi 5A the entry-level smartphone king? Well, in some regards, yes, but it does lose its crown in one aspect. Performance-wise, the Redmi 5A is without a doubt one of the best in its category. It also has an excellent display, a plethora of useful shortcuts and features, and a decent performing battery. Unfortunately, the king will have to give up its crown when it comes to camera performance, as it falls short in that regard. For the price of 4,590 pesos, the only other competitor that can go toe-to-toe with the Redmi 5A's performance is its predecessor, the Redmi 4A, which is equipped with almost the same specs. In other key aspects such as camera and battery, the so-called entry-level king will meet fierce competition. And that's about it. If you like this video, smash that thumbs up button, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel for more content, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to be notified of our latest uploads. Once again, this is Kim, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!